guys, I thought I would talk about my experience of moving Jasper from his baby cot to his toddler bed. I say toddler bed, it is just his cot bed and we've just taken one of the sides down. Since I put a picture up on Instagram of his toddler bed, a few people have asked me, how did you know it was the right time? Why did you decide to do it? How's it going? How did you do it? So I thought I would just kind of touch on it roughly. It's only been about 5 days, I think. I just thought I would talk about our experience of it so far. We decided to do it on Jasper's second birthday, which was Saturday. So he's had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 nights, only 4 nights in it so far. We didn't really have any reasons that we needed to do it. So I know a lot of people say, if your child's climbing out of the cot because they're getting too big for their toddler cot, or banging their arms and their heads on the sides of the rails and things like that. For us, my main reason was that I am 5 months pregnant now, so leaning in to give him a kiss, even putting him in his cot and getting him out was a real struggle. So my bump would just get in the way and it would be painful, and especially because I've got SPD and lower back pain and upper back pain. I know it's not a big enough reason to do it because Pete can put him in bed. Also, we're thinking that we'll probably reuse the cot for our next baby. But again, the next baby won't need the cot until they're about 6 months. And that's going to be like almost a year's time away. So Jasper has ages before we need it. And even if he wasn't ready to come out of the cot now, we would just get the baby a new one and Jasper could stay in this one. Another reason for us is that Jasper has been sleeping through the night really, really well recently. For those of you that have been watching my videos for a long time or reading my blog or following my social media, you'll know that Jasper didn't sleep through the night until he was 13 months and 6 days. And even then, he then slept through the night for a few weeks, and then it was back to not sleeping. Pretty much since we've been in this house, he's had a really, really good sleep routine. He'll go off about 7, he'll wake up about 7. He normally has around 12 hours. And when he wakes up in the morning, he would just lay there and talk to himself. He'd play with the book that he was reading the night before, or his teddies. Like, he would just be fine. He would never be like itching to get out and trying to climb the rails or anything. So for us, we just kind of thought, well, it'd be nice for him to maybe wake up. And if he does want to stay in bed, that's great. And if not, he can play with his toys or he can come in with us. And so we just thought it's the right time. There's no immediate push to do it. So we just thought second birthday would be a nice little chance for him to be moving up to his big boy bed. Okay, so on to how we did it. So actually physically turning the bed into a toddler bed, Pete literally just took the front side down. We couldn't find the manual, and I'm sure that there is a way to actually make it look like a toddler bed, because right now, you can see the screw holes, and I just don't know if it's right. It's from Kiddie Care. I think it's the vanilla something range. So if anyone has it and they've turned it into the toddler bed, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to order a new manual, or we've said we might just buy him a new bed anyway. But yeah, we took that down, and then we got this, which is the summer, I think it's just called the bed rail or cot rail or something like that. And it's just the mesh here, so he can still see out of it. We started off with it in the middle, so there was an equal gap on each side for him to get out. But I kind of worried that if his head's up this end, his head might move too much and then he'd fall out kind of head first. Rather than just rolling sideways, he'd go straight onto his head. So we've pushed this up to the end now. And when he gets out in the morning, he has to kind of climb down this way. In terms of introducing it to him, we literally just said in the morning, oh, you're going to go in a toddler bed today. So yeah, it wasn't like one of these things that we built up to. I know that a lot of people would build up to it, in case their child didn't transition very well. But with Jasper, because, we've moved house, 5 times? He's had so many different bedrooms. I don't know, he's just good at changes and transitions, and he'll sleep in the car, he'll sleep on the sofa. So we just told him that, and then during the day on his birthday, we were all in the room, the boys were playing. Pete took the whole cot apart because I think he thought that he had the right pieces to make it a toddler bed, but he didn't. So then he ended up putting it all back together again, minus the front part. And Jasper loved it. He just, ran straight on, sat on it, jumped off it. It was just normal. He wasn't wary of it at all. His brother Reese's bed is this one, which we would make for Jasper as well, but because we've got the window here, it just wouldn't go in the room. So he's used to jumping on and off the bed, and he knows that's a bed. He knows Reese is a big boy because he's older than him. So it was just normal for him, and that was it. That is how we introduced it to him. There was no kind of easing him in at all. Okay, on to how he did. So his first night, and quite often with bedtime, sometimes he goes off absolutely fine, Other times he wants me to sit there so he can stroke my back. And I just thought, that's fine. It's his birthday. It's his first night with the new kind of bed set up. So I let him do that. Fell asleep within about 10 minutes and slept all the way through until about 7-ish, I think. And then we woke up hearing him. He was stood up here, so he hadn't got out of the bed at all, stood up here talking to Reese, who was sat in bed. And yeah, it was absolutely fine, no problem. The second night, he went off absolutely fine. He did wake up at 3 o'clock. I think he must have had a noise that scared him, but because I'd watched a horror film, I get really scared, like if I've got my back to the door. So if I'm knelt down kind of comforting him, so in the end I was like, just come in mummy's bed, where Pete was. So that was kind of my fault. So he did sleep in our bed for half the night. And then the third night, he went to sleep absolutely fine, woke up in the morning, and he must have heard Pete. Pete wakes up at like 6 every morning, and Pete was in his office. And yeah, he just got out of his cot, went in and saw Pete in his office. So that was lovely that he just kind of knew that he could just get out and come and find us. So last night he went off absolutely fine. That was night 4. And then he either went in to find Pete or Pete came and found him in bed, but he woke up like after a good night's sleep. So far it has been really, really good. 4 nights, 3 of them he has stayed in the bed, settled relatively easily. He has been waking up a bit earlier, which surprises me because he also dropped his naps. We haven't had a nap for about a week. You know, I guess it's just part of him growing up and growing out of the naps. So I thought he might stay in bed a bit later, but then it's getting lighter in the mornings, so that probably doesn't help. Don't make a big deal out of it. If your child is around the age of 2, then you don't need to make a big deal out of it, unless they're asking for it or saying, you know, they want the rail, or unless they're really focusing on the change of the bed itself. Just do it, you know. It's a big boy bed, oh, it's exciting, it's something new, that's it. My next tip would be just go with when you're ready. I think they say kind of 18 months onwards is a good time to do it. Closer to being 2 is better, purely because they're not wriggling around as much, and you know that they're sturdy on their feet and they've got a better sense of direction to come and find you in the middle of the night or in the morning if they wake up. But again, it's up to you when your child is ready. You just know. I know a lot of people whose children are 3, 3.5, going on 4, and they're still in their cot because they're comfy. The child doesn't have a problem with it, the parent doesn't have a problem with it, it doesn't stunt their growth or anything, you know, there are no problems with it. If you make the change and they're really, really not getting on with it, they're, you know, falling out too much, getting out too much, persevere a little bit, kind of realise that, you know, it is a change and it's something different, they just need to get used to it. Just like if you had a new bed, you might not sleep that well for the first few nights. But in the end, if it's not working, just put it back up. It's really not a big deal, and then just go back to it in a few months' time. Make sure that the environment is safe. That's probably my absolute biggest tip of all. Make sure that there is a stair gate on the stairs, if not on their bedroom door. So we kind of ummed and ahed whereabouts to put it. We thought if we put it on the bedroom door, then he could just wake up, play in his room. We wouldn't have to worry about him going in any other bedroom and it would be fine. But at the same time, we thought if he wakes up at 3 in the morning, it's nice for him to know that he can just come into us and not walk into the gate and then get all upset because he feels like he can't leave his bedroom. So then we thought we'll just put it at the top of the stairs. We make sure that the spare room, Pete's office door and the upstairs bathroom doors are just shut. And obviously once we're up, it doesn't matter if they're open, he goes in and out anyway. Make sure that plug sockets are covered. Make sure that furniture is attached to the walls. Things like bookshelves and chests of drawers and just anything they can climb up that might fall on them. Yeah, just make sure, you know, like you're a parent, you know, make sure there's nothing dangerous, nothing their child can step on and hurt themselves or bump into. Try and have a little bit of light. It depends what your child's like. If they prefer to sleep in absolute darkness, they might have a light anyway. But maybe just for the first few nights, make sure there's a light on in the hallway, even if it is just a small night light, just so that if they do get up, they do wander out of their room, at least they can see and they don't feel scared and they know, yep, come out of my room, go into my parents' room and it's fine. So that's it. That's our experience so far and the kind of things that I found have helped us. It's been a really easy transition, so I will update you guys. I'll probably give it like a week or so and see how it goes and then do another video. Thank you for watching. If you have any tips or ideas, please do leave them below. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!